Somebody just want to meet me here. Just meet me here. Meet me here. Meet me here.
That he will prepare them for their ministry, whatever it is that he has purposed them. The reason why we're going through so much turmoil in the world and the society and the killing of people of color and the injustice and everything, because, and I'm going to say this, and I pray that I don't step on any toes. If I do, then oh well, that the leaders have not prepared God a people to put in the halls of justice. Where's the prophets that should be sitting on the bench as judges, that they can hear clearly from God and the Spirit that's saying that this prosecutor is wrong, this defendant is wrong, and he can judge righteously? Where's the apostles that needs to be in Washington, that needs to be in Congress, and the senators that God needs to, so they can set order? How can you set order with Beelzebub? You can't. Where's the teachers in the education department that they may teach truth, the whole truth of God, and history, and not portions of what they want people to hear so they can oppress a people? Where's the teachers in education?
Where are they?
Where are they? So these are the things that, and I never forget the evangelists and the pastors. God needs people that he can't take out the ones that are in these places, because who he's going to replace them with? The same like spirits. And those are evil.
And they multiply.
And they multiply.
That's the key.
Yeah. So, we've got to do what God say do. This is what the having the likeness of Christ is, preparing the people that have the gifts of God's love in them, so they can show this through a nation, that the kingdom of God on earth as it is in heaven can prevail and can move forward, so that people can see God through our lives. They can look at the judge and say, this is a man of God, this is a woman of God. They can see the teachers and the principals and the superintendents,
yes,
that's teaching good and showing the love of God. Prepare God a people that he may use and win the battle for his people. He cannot win the battle if you're not preparing the people to replace.
You're not
to win the battle.
for war.
You're not prepared. There you go, Pastor. You're not preparing for war.
We fall short.
We're falling short.
So why aren't we equipping the saints?
That's the key. That's
Am
the key.
I right?
That's the key.
That's the question.
That's the key.
What should we be doing in this day? This is the revelation
Yeah.
of my people.
Yeah.
What should we be doing?
That's the key. You have a lot of prayers going up now in the nations, and praying to God, and I wonder if God is actually, he's hearing them, but I wonder if God is actually is able to move on these behalves depending on their prayers, because the plan of God and the will of God is going to go forward with you or without you. So if you're not praying in the will of God, you're just praying just to hear yourself pray, because the main thing that God needs to do is build his kingdom in the earth to show the world who he is that are lost. He's after the lost. He's not after his church. The church should be prepared. You cannot prepare people so they can do ministry for you and your vision. God will send you people for that. But for the most part, I strongly believe that that is the exception and not the rule, to prepare a people. Now, God will send you people that will be with you, that be with the leaders until it's time for that individual to transition out as well, to help you in your ministry and the vision God gave the church and all that. But for the most part, you've got to get people, and me and my husband travel to a lot of different churches, and we see that in the house are little ones prepare them now to teach them to be educators, lawyers, and law enforcements, that they will bring the love of God in the community and protect the community the way it's supposed to be. You cannot expect justice from an evil, corrupt system. You cannot pray God to change hearts when hearts don't want to be changed or delivered.
Well,
Or
them
saved.
hearts are not hearts of love.
No.
They're hearts of stone. Stone face.
Yeah,
They don't care about nobody but them.
exactly. Because I think
Lovers of themselves.
yes,
Lovers of
lovers of themselves.
More than lovers of who? God.
God.
So you got a heart of stone.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
And if you don't have a heart transplant, how can you help somebody?
You can't.
You got to have that heart taken out. I love that love that you're dealing with, because in reality, where is love? Where did our love go?
Wow.
I said, now these were songs back in the day, but they had a good message. And
Where did it go?
I'm not projecting R&B,
No,
but
you have
I'm
to hear
hearing
it.
the word.
The words.
The
yes.
word.
Where did my love go?
Where did our love go?
Where did it go? Really, where did it go?
It was replaced by materialistic things. It was replaced by
It was replaced by everything else except
Yeah.
for the love of
God.
God.
Yeah. It was
What-
replaced by a lot of things.
You have to
yeah.
look at, it's the same thing as being a parent. If you didn't teach your son or daughter how to wash dishes, they will never know how to wash dishes. If you never taught them how to cook, they will never learn how to cook. If you never show them how to dress, they will walk around in their underwears and t-shirts and walk outside. Because now it's the same thing. You prepare them for society, why can't you prepare the people for transitioning to different positions and different jobs?
Why? Wow.
Because
yeah.
if you could
That's
teach
a
the
good
house that
point.
you live in, why can't you teach the house that you worship in?
Got to.
You have to. You got to prepare the people.
Yeah.
While
For the
you
new
on that,
level.
I just thought about it takes a village to raise a nation.
There you go.
It does.
That means collectively,
Yes.
all should be involved. I'm not talking about, because I know there's a lot of carnality.
There you go.
People are not all spiritual minded. There is so much
Mm-hmm.
carnalness.
Way
And when
too
he
much.
wrote it to the church. He didn't write it to the world.
That's right, because you expect that from the world.
The carnality of your mind
Yeah.
was not transformed by the renewing of your mind. So that gets back to what we're talking about, love. And we're
Love.
talking about how you said it starts at home.
It does.
And then you go to the house, and you should have that same love. That don't put your hands on folks now. You know,
Shaking your hand.
you know, all out of sequence and laying hands suddenly on people and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an order that God ordained.
Yes.
There is an order in the house. Every man is subject to the order of that house.
Right.
Yes.
I can't come in Barry and Linda's house and just take over.
That's
I don't like your couch in that corner. I don't like your table over here.
That's right.
Oh, you got this in your refrigerator. You need to get rid.
Mm-hmm.
You would look at me and say, if you don't like my comfort,
Leave.
there's the door.
But you know, one thing, though, Pastor, is something that you brought that up. Because we, as Christians, have to realize we got to take care of the first house. That's the house that we live in. Where is our residence, is our address house. Let me clarify that when I say that. You live at 100 Mississippi Avenue. That's your residence. That's not your church.
Thank you.
That's your residence. If you don't take care of the residence house you live in, how can you go somewhere else and take care of something else and try to keep it in order? If your house is not in order, How can you take care of God's house? The word is the word. It's in the Bible already.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing he showed me that the father and the mother are apostles. The father and mother are prophets. The father and mother are teachers.
Oh,
The
God.
father and mother are evangelists. The father and mothers are preachers.
Because they
It
raising up
starts
a
at
child.
home.
They're raising up a child.
They're raising this child up in the righteous way of God. Come on, Pastor.
But what I'm concerned about is, where did love go? It's still resonating in my mind. Where did love
You
go?
know where it go.
Materialistic things. as my
People
wife was saying.
took their eyes off of God, and they put it on man.
There it
They
is.
put it on the world. We begin to have
Riches.
mega churches
Yes.
and everything, and so everybody put their minds, because there's an old saying back in the day, and God's been bringing all these old sayings back to me from our elders of old. Monkey see, monkey do, and when they see one church with gazillion of people, and they look like they got all this money and this and that, then everybody else want to try, and they focus on that. They trying to make a reputation for themselves. And when Jesus Christ said, I make no reputation of myself, everything I do in the name of my Father.
The glory.
Then who is anybody to try to make a reputation of themselves? So they took their eyes and focused on God and off the kingdom
Wow.
of God.
Wow.
And that's where love went.
And you keep going right back to the simple principles of love. Starts with your heart and in your home.
And your home.
Then it's shed abroad.
That's it.
But you have, because the elders always, one thing, she said how, because I remember from the elders, they'll always make sure that the neighbors and the neighbor and the neighbor have food.
Thank you.
One person, okay, I cooked the pot today of beans. All right.
Share.
So we're going to drop it over here. We all going over this person's house and sit there, eat the beans and biscuits and some ham. Now, next day somebody goes to somebody else's house. We learned how to be helpers one to another.
That's right.
Back then. Why does it not carry on today? Because we're selfish.
And
Well,
so
we
simple.
We
lost the
have
love.
more. When you have more, you depend less.
But how do you have more when you forgot about the one living right next door to you?
Because materialistic. It's the love of the money
That's it, the love.
that roots all evil.
The love of it. Where
The
they don't
love
wanna
of
share
what you
And-
I got this, I got that. Look, I hear so much bragging on big name designers.
Oh, come on with it.
Who did you
Come on
give
with it.
that needed besides you?
And it's something.
I don't have a problem now if you're giving to the poor and God has, increased
Bless you.
your territory to do something.
Right.
I believe if you, like you said, maybe I ain't got to cook on your, cook at your door. Can I just hand you something like, used to walk up, put something in your hand and say, God bless you. And you would say, oh my God, oh my God. You don't even find that no more. You don't find that. But God told me in the last days, give of me, not Gerald, but
Me.
Christ
That's in me.
that's in me, the hope of glory. Give of me.
You have people in their house that has, and this is where the love of God is gone. It went into 100 pairs of shoes. It went into a mega closet because you got 50
Don't pick on me.
handbags. It went into
I'm only joking.
it went into your 100 pairs of jeans, and the sister that you see, or someone you see in the street, someone you work with, or someone in your community, on your block, and your next door neighbors, you see them that has, really nothing, maybe 1 or 2 pairs of shoes. would you think to buy for them and say, what's your size, sweetheart? And go and buy for them. And see, this is where the love has gone. It's gone into me, myself, and I. And material things. Me, myself, and I.
Remember that song? You used to have a song that
and material things. Because, like you said, Pastor, there's nothing wrong to have these things. Don't get me wrong. Because God says, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly, not just only in his spirit, but material things, the abundance of life itself. But what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul when you're in a position where you can help someone and you selfishly don't do it? So you can say, I got a closet full of 100 shoes. That's altogether different. Now you're blessed, and God said, because you have given unto me, by giving to others, you do it unto me. By giving someone 20 pairs of shoes out, by giving someone, send them to the hairdressers to get their hair done instead of yours. You did that for a whole year, and you gave to me. Now you go and spend $1,000 on yourself. I'm going to bless you.
And that's how he do it.
Now your 100 pairs of shoes is from God. It's not from selfishness.
But they won't wear out.
And they won't wear out. And you have your spirit man will grow into another dimension in God.
Hold that thought. Because I just heard something that we experienced yesterday. An elder friend of myself and myself was in Dunkin' Donuts, and you know how I am.
Yeah.
I don't want to always, feel like I can't do something. He said, "No, I got you. And so I had already ordered, and I didn't know he was going to do it. So there was a girl in front of us, and he offered to get her a cup of whatever she wanted, and she refused it. So she said, "No, you go